Welcome to Council Connection. I'm Kim Baxter, Mayor Pro Tem and Durango City Councilor. This program is designed to give you a snapshot of happenings at the most recent Durango City Council meeting. This time we look at the November 17th meeting. Talk of creating a mandatory mask zone highlighted this meeting. I'll have more on that coming up. We began with 4 proclamations and presentations. The first proclamation recognized November as Native American Heritage Month, recognizing the history, traditions, and influence of area tribes on our community. The second proclamation declared the week of November 16th as Durango Transgender Population Week, highlighting the wide variety of positive contributions transgender people are progressively making in our communities and nation, and the struggles they face. We then received an update on construction of the Utilities Administration building at Santa Rita Park.
The last presentation provided to council were these slides. I took the pictures direct from it. From the June 1st, 2020 meeting. So you can see a pretty significant difference in the construction. It still wasn't all framed in at that point in time. Now it's actually, we received the CO, a certificate of occupancy, 2 weeks ago. Although there's still a number of punch list items, we are moving ahead.
It's now being occupied by city staff and should be completed in a matter of weeks. Lastly, City Parks and Recreation Director Kathy Metz told councilors about the department's recent accreditation by a national organization.
I come to you with good news about the Durango Parks and Recreation Department being reaccredited in 2020 by the Commission for Accreditation of Parks and Recreation Agencies and the National Recreation and Park Association. Out of 23,000 parks and recreation agencies in the country, only 186, which is less than 1%, have earned this distinction.
There were 3 quasi-judicial public hearings at this meeting. The first 2 were rather minor. The first dealing with subdivision of a duplex on Coalbank Drive in Jenkins Ranch. The second concerned a rezoning and comp plan map amendment for a single-family home on a lot off Riverview Drive, overlooking the Island Cove Trailer Park. The final hearing was on a conceptual plan for Boxcar Landing, an apartment, townhouse, and condo development of 132 units in the 3800 block of Main Avenue. The development is proposed on 7 acres of land between the Hampton Inn and CDOT offices. All 3 proposals were approved, although the Boxcar Landing project will require additional approvals. The big discussion concerned creation of a mandatory mask zone downtown in response to rising cases of COVID-19. In response to a council request from the November 2nd meeting, City Manager Jose Madrigal presented his proposal, which resulted in considerable conversation among councilors, especially about the scope of the order and enforcement.
Here is the mandatory mask zone that we had anticipated. Just creates a mandatory mask zone, indoor and outdoor. So while walking around, you still have to wear a mask even if you're on the sidewalk. The exceptions would be for eating, drinking, or any bona fide health reason. The emphasis would be on voluntary compliance, but it would have teeth to it, if you will. If there is an offense, the first offense would be $50. If there was no voluntary compliance, second offense, $250, and then third and subsequent offenses would be $500 each, and would automatically terminate on January 15, 2021, unless repealed or extended.
It's clear. It's a clearer case if we have our own law, ordinance, regulation to enforce, rather than trying to enforce, bringing an action for breach of a law that we don't have any authority to enforce.
When the situation arises, why couldn't we issue a citation anywhere throughout our community?
We don't want to overextend ourselves, and the next thing you have citizens saying, well, why did you even pass a citywide ordinance if you can't enforce it?
If we set ourselves in a position where we can enforce it when and where we need to and have to, and give ourselves some authority to enforce, then that could help us tremendously.
Enforcement and a campaign that along with that are the 2 things we can bring to bear in a way that the public health cannot. So I think our ability to enforce is critical. We've heard from San Juan Basin Health that indoor is a much greater risk than outdoor. So if we have limited capability for our enforcement, I want to focus on anything that has to do with mask wearing indoors and with maintaining that 6-foot distance.
News of tougher state guidance taking effect November 20th to try and stop the spread generated discussion about citywide enforcement of not only mask mandates, but for the new COVID-19 restrictions as well. Councilors expressed concern over the spread of COVID and the need for residents, businesses, and all in the community to recognize the seriousness of the pandemic, which is having a significant impact on our local hospital.
I don't think we need to be counting ICU beds anymore. We're past that. We just don't have capacity, and we will not have past maybe 2 more weeks unless we do radical mitigation right now.
For the latest information on COVID-19's impacts on the community, as well as on city services and facilities, watch DGov, visit the city's Facebook page, and go online to durangogov.org/emergency. Remember also, many city facilities will be closed or have reduced hours November 26th and 27th for Thanksgiving. You can get all the information on those changes at durangogov.org. We hope everyone has an enjoyable and safe holiday. Our next regular study session is Tuesday, December 8th at 4 p.m. Our next regular City Council meeting is Tuesday, December 1st at 6:30 p.m. and includes a public hearing on the city's proposed 2021 budget. Agendas for meetings are posted at durangogov.org/meetings. And that's Council Connection for the November 17th Durango City Council meeting. I'm City Councilor and Mayor Pro Tem Kim Baxter. Thanks for joining us, and remember, you can always contact your city councilors via email at citycouncil@durangogov.org.